Four friends venture into the remote wilderness of northern Sweden to fulfill the last wish of their late friend, Robert. Months earlier, Robert was tragically killed during a robbery while accompanying his friend Luke. Luke, paralyzed by fear, had hidden during the attack and never forgave himself. Now, in Robert's memory, Luke convinces his friends Dom, Hutch, and Phil to join him on a hiking expedition through the isolated forest lands Robert had always wanted to visit. However, their journey quickly descends into a nightmare. On the return path, Dom injures his ankle, making the long walk back impossible. In search of a quicker route, the group opts to take a shortcut through a dense forest, an irreversible mistake. Almost immediately, strange things begin to happen. Their compass stops working, but Hutch withholds the information, hoping it's just a glitch. Soon they stumble upon a grotesque sight, a dead bear, its body mutilated and hanging from a tree. Unsettled but unsure of what else to do, they continue, deeper into the woods. That night, as a heavy storm erupts, they discover a mysterious abandoned hut and take shelter inside. Upstairs, Phil uncovers a chilling effigy, a straw figure without a head, holding deer antlers, clearly part of some dark ritual. Though unnerved, the group stays the night. But sleep offers no comfort. Luke awakens in a vision, reliving Robert's death, only to find claw marks etched into his chest. The others suffer horrific nightmares too. Hutch wets himself in terror. Phil is found naked, kneeling before the effigy in a trance-like state. Fleeing the cabin at dawn, they realize something is terribly wrong when they find ominous symbols carved into the surrounding trees. Dom's injury worsens, but the forest refuses to let them go. Luke climbs a ridge for perspective and sees something horrifying, though he can't explain what. Dom mocks his fear until Luke shows him the claw marks, proving they're being hunted. That night, their makeshift campsite is disrupted by eerie sounds. Luke, again haunted by visions of the robbery, hears screams, this time real. Hutch has disappeared. They chase his cries through the night, but by morning, he's gone. Eventually, they find Hutch, his body grotesquely strung up like the bear's. It's clear, something monstrous is stalking them. Despite their terror, they retrieve his map and compass and continue, only to spot a large creature on a distant ridge. Later, as Luke glimpses the forest's edge and a distant fire, Phil is suddenly grabbed by the beast and dragged into the darkness. Luke gives chase but only finds Phil's flashlight. Dom appears, confirming what Luke feared. Phil is gone. Now alone, Luke and Dom flee until they find another cabin lit by torches. Inside, they discover Phil's corpse hanging like the others. They hide, thinking they're safe, but a shadowy figure knocks them out. They awaken bound inside the cabin, surrounded by a strange group of cult-like villagers. The old woman among them examines Luke's chest, her expression changing when she sees his claw marks. She reveals her own, marking him as chosen. Dom, lacking such marks, is taken away. Despite Luke's protests, Dom is tied to a ritual post outside. Luke, desperate to escape, breaks his fingers to free himself. Outside, Dom sees a vision of his wife, but it transforms into the creature. His final moments are consumed by terror as the monster kills him. Luke watches helplessly from inside the cabin and finally sees the creature clearly. Towering, four-legged, and part deer, part nightmare. Later, a young girl feeds Luke and cryptically tells him the beast sees his pain and chose him to end it. As she leaves, Luke sneaks out and discovers a hidden chamber filled with sobbing figures. To his horror, they are still alive, immortal, worshippers of the creature, trapped in a limbo between life and death. Determined to end it all, Luke sets the room ablaze. The cultists panic. The creature, sensing the destruction of its followers, storms the cabin in fury. Luke arms himself with a rifle and escapes. Outside, he spots the monster, cradling a corpse. Luke shoots, enraging the beast, and flees through the trees. The creature chases him, unleashing roars and terrifying visions to subdue him. But Luke refuses to bow. Spotting an axe, he grabs it and strikes the creature, buying just enough time to run. Finally, he breaks through the tree line. The beast halts, It cannot leave the forest. Luke, now free, turns and screams back in triumph. He has survived. The monster had sensed his inner torment and tried to enslave him with fear. But Luke conquered his demons, avenged his friends, and emerged as the sole survivor of the Black Forest.